Oh hey, didn't see you there. Seriously, couldn't. This is Mr. Ranch's 2-day assault, and if you're like me, you have a lot of bags, but you're trying to find the perfect bag that can do anything from hiking, traveling, looking nice, blending in the office, doing something casual, and definitely the entire time carry all your stuff as safe as possible, because you want the best materials for your precious little gadgets, because you spent a lot of money on it and you don't want them to die. Whatever I put in this bag will definitely change depending on how I'm getting there, what I'm doing, what's the weather, and all this other stuff. But this is more of a generalized, what can you fit into a bag of this capacity? I believe this thing is roughly about 30-32 liters, I would say is probably the correct sizing of this. I have a large, extra large frame for this bag because I'm a taller person, I have a very long torso. I've been told that I have a corgi body with shorter legs and a long, long torso. So if you're like me, a large, extra large probably will be the better fit for you. One of the nice things about it on the outside is actually back here you have an adjustable harness system that you can actually take the frame sheet out, split the Velcro right here, and actually adjust it to your height. And you actually have little markers that kind of show you roughly what the increments are. I think there's probably about inch marker increments here for you with metric. I have no idea what that is, because everything we do in America, we try to measure whatever we can in other ways, as many ways as possible besides use the metric system. Like we'll say, oh, that's a football field long. You got tons of Molle Webbing here on the sides, the front, and you can latch all kinds of cool things to it. Like for example, I have this Heroclip, which is super useful to hold your bag. If you're traveling or anything like that, you can also clip some other stuff to it, like say shopping bags or something like that if you're just walking around a new area. I mean, adjustable straps here for actually cinching this down tighter and tighter and tighter for compression. Deep water bottle pockets here. I have a 32-ounce Hydroflask. I guess it's ultralight, trail light or something like that's what it's called. It's lighter than a normal water bottle, but it holds that easily. You can pack that, you can pretty much put whatever you want in there. I have my carbon fiber tripod right here, so most of my stuff I have is pretty light because I'm used to carrying stuff on my back. I don't really believe in having a suitcase for the most part, because if you're traveling somewhere that's kind of off the beaten path, something with wheels is just something that's going to be a nightmare for you the whole time because you're just dragging around. The whole point of traveling is to experience the world around you, not hear the click-dee-clack, clack, clickety-clack of the wheels of the suitcase trailing behind you, giving away the fact that you are indeed the biggest tourist and I'm going to rob you. You have these drainage holes here and here on the external water bottle pockets, or whatever, I guess stash pockets, you can call them that if you want to. And then you also have drain holes right here below the Molle Webbing, and also here below the Molle Webbing. And I personally am not a fan of having these drain holes in the main body of the bag, because the whole point of me buying this bag is because I wanted something that can actually handle weather resistance. And if I set this down on the ground, I don't want it to soak up all the water, because I got electronics in here, like a laptop or anything like that. Why would you build a laptop sleeve and put drain holes at the bottom of your bag? That makes literally no sense to me. Obviously, if you're using this for something more, extreme, like you're going, rucking or hiking, or using this as an actual 2-day assault bag, then yeah, you probably want the drain holes in there, so that way if you have water or something like that just gets in your bag, you want to drain out, right? I purposely did a little hack where I took some rubber drain plugs and I kind of cut them a little bit and just shoved in those little grommets to actually fill them up, so that way I don't have the issue of water entering the bottom of my bag. Because, as I said, it's useful for certain people. I wish they had done something smarter, as, I don't know, put like some sort of plug system on there that you could actually just plug up, and that way you wouldn't have to worry about having water coming through the bottom of the bag if you didn't want it to happen. The material on the outside is 500D Cordura, and for those of you who know anything about Cordura, it's pretty much a fabled sort of fabric. It's often the most favorite fabric most people can use for things because it's extremely durable, pretty lightweight, and highly water resistant, almost to the point of being waterproof. Obviously you can't really just take this and just soak it into the ocean or something like that, because it will eventually obviously get leaky because the seams probably aren't sealed. But They've done as much as they possibly could to make this a pretty ultra rugged weatherized bag, which I love because I don't want to have to take a rain jacket or rain fly out of the bag to cover it up just because it starts raining. I'd rather just have this bag and be like, wow, I'm invincible, so I don't have to worry about anything. They have these number 5 YKK Aquaguard Zips, which are extremely durable, really beefy, and they have quite a bit of friction to them when you actually try to open and shut the bag because they are just really well sealed, and obviously you have this sort of rubbery, I guess, gusset or skirting on it that actually kind of keeps it sealed properly so that way no water or rain can get in there. So these zips are amazing and I've had no issues with them. They've put these little pull tabs right here at the bottoms and the sides at the ends of each zipper pull so that way you can actually zip and shut it and open it very easily on your own end. You have quite a few different systems here as far as pockets go, so let's walk through some of the storage system here. So at the top we have a zipper here for a main compartment, small main compartment here, which is actually very useful for when you go through TSA because even if you have TSA pre-check, they make you empty your pockets out and you don't want to just put it loosely in the bin, you can just put it inside the top of this backpack. So it makes it really, really convenient just for grabbing stuff as quickly as you can. And actually another thing that's kind of interesting too is I actually upgraded the zippers here. These are from a company called Maxpedition, and I can actually link you to these zippers specifically because the original pulls that came on here were more like a sort of nylon threaded rope, which is fine and all, but you have to kind of put your finger into the thing to actually get it out. But this is more like an Osprey system, how they have their zipper pulls where you can just easily just grab it and very simply just get all the zippers that way. Plus I think it looks a lot nicer. And that, I have my sunglasses actually in there. This is a bigger pocket because it goes all the way through the entire brain of the bag here. It's got mesh at the bottom of it, which I'll show you on the inside in a couple of seconds, but you can see the mesh right here. And this is useful for, I usually put my sunglasses in there in the case because I like to have the sunglasses in the case because if I throw the bag around, I don't want to worry about my sunglasses getting shattered. You could put your sunglasses here like I said before, but the problem with that is if you try to, sometimes it doesn't always fit properly. As you can kind of see, I'm struggling just a little bit to get my sunglasses in there. And then once you do that, that's pretty much all you can put in that bag, this pocket right here. If you had a slimmer case, I guess you could do it better that way, but this is actually a pretty cool case I can show you right here. I have my Randolph USA Aviators in this. I love these sunglasses. If you get a chance to buy some awesome sunglasses, these are the ones to get because they're super light, made in America, amazing warranty on them. I've gotten hit in the head with a soccer ball multiple times, basically destroyed my sunglasses, and they replaced them, no questions asked. Amazing company to work with. But this is kind of my travel sunglass case because you just collapse it like that and it becomes super flat. So that covers these out exterior pockets here. You also have a place to put a Molle patch of some kind if you want to. So I guess these are called morale patches, and my morale is based in NASA right now. So just stick that little bad boy back on there. So actually breaking down the interior of the bag, you have a tri-zip system, which is what this year ranch is really famous for. You have a zipper pull here, zipper pull here, and a zipper pull here. So that way, if you want to use this as a duffel bag, which I'll demonstrate for you right here, just pull out the middle zipper here, and then you can use this open up like a duffel bag so you can grab something at the very bottom of your bag, or the side, or wherever it is, and not have to fish your arm all the way down through the top of it, which is a nice little feature. And I have this thing stuffed to the brim with whatever I can throw in here, and the zipper works really well to compress it nice and tight, and you don't really feel like there's anything kind of just getting stretched out or anything like that. So another way of accessing the bag too is if you wanted to, instead of pulling the zippers, which could take obviously more than just doing this, just pull that bad boy open like that. You got access to the top compartments right here. So they've done a pretty good job of making this a really fun sort of experience to actually do it. And you can see I'm just pulling the pull tab here, grabbing the Maxpedition zipper, and easy to do that way. So this gives you more, these new zipper pulls actually do give you quite a bit more leverage on it, so it's easier and quicker to actually zip and unzip the bag. And inside the bag, you can fit quite a lot in there. I have my Thule, I guess Thule, whatever it's called. I have this sort of electronics carrying case in here, which I have my Sony headphones, because noise canceling headphones, they make a huge difference when you fly, seriously. You want to tune out those little kids, you can't silence them, but you sure can silence them with these headphones. I have a packable Patagonia puffer jacket here, which you can use as a pillow or at your destination just wearing around. It's great. Even as a blanket too, it's amazing. I have a compressible sack full of 3 days worth of t-shirts, 3 days worth of underwear, and 1 pair of shorts and 1 pair of darn tough socks. So if you're going to a place that you actually have access to laundry, this is the most minimal way I can think about dressing, because you can just put the most minimal amount of clothing in there and just wash in cycles, and that way you have less stuff you have to carry. And then on top of that, I have my camera case, a bag which is a Peak Design bag, which is I think a 5 liter. I don't know if they make this one in particular anymore, but this is also weather sealed. It's got an Aquaguard zipper on as well. It's great. I have my Sony A7C in here with a 35 1.4 G Master lens. Great lens. If you have a chance to buy this thing, I bought both these things actually used. Great deal on it. It's the best way to buy stuff, because usually when people buy stuff brand new, you're wasting more materials, more things come in this world. But if you buy used, guess what? Someone didn't want it, but you did. You get the discount, plus you keep something out of the landfill. And then over here, like I said, you can see the mesh here. You have a sort of document sleeve right here that you can put maybe a tablet or any sort of documents, notepad, or anything like that you want to have in there. And you have these, which actually will fit water bottles. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but you can fit a water bottle in there if you wanted to put one in here instead of the outside. But they're great for putting kind of loose items and stuff in there. For example, in this pocket I have my Anchor power brick, so that way I can keep everything nice and charged before I get to my destination. And then these are pretty much kind of like the original zipper pulls that came on it. You can kind of see there's a little nylon-y sort of things are kind of tied together at the end and melted right here. So they're not too hard to pull, but like I said, the Maxpedition zipper pulls make this a million times easier to open and shut. But here we have AirPod Pro case, Sony noise canceling earbuds too as well. Because the problem I have with these AirPods is, since I have both a laptop and a phone, it likes to switch. I think it's called handoff. It likes to switch between the laptop and the phone pretty much all the time. Sometimes when I get phone calls, it's still stuck in my laptop and I won't even pick up the phone call. So these are sometimes extremely annoying. So I stick to Sony's because they just stand with whatever device you pair them to. And these have great sound and great noise canceling abilities on these things. The battery life is amazing on them. And I can have no complaints with these. These are great. And then to charge my stuff, I have a small Anchor power outlet right here, which is dual. It's got IQ technology, so that's just charge whatever devices be charged first. It's very smart about that. I have a small brass Fisher Space Pen, which I like to use because it's nice and compact. The thing I love about brass in particular is the fact that it ages extremely well, and whatever you touch and however you touch it is how it's going to tarnish. So this is a really nice sort of thing to carry around with you. Plus it's super compact. So you also have a water bottle loop right here, or I guess a hydro pack or a camelback, or whatever you want to call it. You can put this your water fluid reservoir right here. You can hang it from this. Or you could hang, I guess, an Apple AirTag from there too if you want to. With a little carabiner or something like that. And then you have a laptop sleeve that's suspended actually right here. If you can kind of see, I'll open up a little bit, but you can see it's suspended by probably about maybe 2 inches, 2.5 inches from the bottom of the bag. So that way if you set this down, it's not going to break the bottom of your laptop. And right here I have a 2021, that's what it is. It came out last year, I guess. 2021 MacBook M1 16-inch laptop with a case on it. So this is pretty much stretched out to the capacity of the sleeve at this point, because the bag, this fits pretty much, you get maybe an inch in the back if you wanted to put something else back here, but that's pretty much the capacity of the sleeve. And this actually has a really cool way of accessing it, so you can either pull it out from the top, but if you do that, it's more complicated when you have this full of stuff, or you can grab it from the back here, which is another zipper, which also has an Aquaguard zipper pull here. Very easy to do, and like I said, this is, with the case on, it's pretty much maxed out with what I can put in here, and you kind of have to force it out a little bit just because this case, I think, makes it maybe an inch bigger on all sides. So I'm guessing you could put up to a 17-inch laptop in here if you wanted to. I just have the 16-inch, which I think is plenty enough. But one of the reasons why I love this actual laptop sleeve back here is they have a hard plastic sheet of a back support system here. Right here, you pull a tab at the top of it. It's like a little mystery wrench. Like this is even saying your sizing and stuff. Men's, large, extra large. You pull this, and you have a plastic frame sheet in here. And you can kind of see how pretty durable that actually is. And it's kind of contoured in a very specific way to actually curve to your spine, your shoulder blades. So this actually makes the bag extremely comfortable to carry around and wear. Plus, on top of that, I don't know if it's true or not, but it makes me feel more comfortable putting my laptop in there because it's protecting it in certain ways from my back and my back sweat, stuff like that. It does come with a sort of pseudo hip belt, which is just good enough for what it is. All it really does is keeps the bag tighter to your body. Once you get this adjusted properly, like I said, you just adjust it out, make sure it matches whatever length it needs to be for your torso. And this should sit right about your hips. So it keeps the bag nice and tight to your body, but if you carry a ton of stuff in there, you probably want something with more of a padded hip belt. I haven't had any issues with it because I don't really stuff this thing completely to the brim with heavy stuff in it anyway, but this thing works pretty well. I usually just leave it on here like this. It's kind of annoying because it has these dangling straps on it, but you could take this off pretty easily just because you just basically pop this off and this will slide right out, and you just take this and I guess you have to put it in something. So that's why I keep it in the bag, because if I need it, I like to have it there, but if I don't, it's also still there, so I'm not worried about it. Plus it doesn't really bother me anyway being on the bag. It doesn't dig into my back or anything like that. More or less the back pad right here, actually this part right here rests upon my lower back, so this is where most of the weight's really kind of pressing against right here and kind of floating my shoulders right here. So it's a really good harness system. I believe it's called the Futura harness system. It's used also the same thing, I think it's roughly used in the 3-day assault bag. So if you're a fan of that bag, this is basically just the civilian this is basically just the civilian version of the 3-day assault, which is a good bag. And it's got mesh all right here on the back support. Really thick padded foam shoulder straps right here with mesh all over that. And the harness system, like I said, it's extremely comfortable. I've taken this hiking, I've done a few different things with it, and every time I've carried it, it feels extremely comfortable in my body. But this, I wish they had put some sort of air mesh channels or something like that, because when you wear this on your body, because it contours your body so perfectly, it gets pretty hot. So if you're in a very hot environment, you have to be very conscious of the fact that you will have a lot of back sweat. You will actually look like the Kool-Aid man from behind because you'll be that sweaty. Also, another thing I have on this bag too that's really kind of cool is I have this sort of quick release for holding anything that's kind of like tube shaped, or whatever you want to put in it. Typically you can put like flashlights, which is what I have right here. And this is a very bright flashlight by a company called WUBEN. And I could send you a link to that as well on below, but you basically just take this thing off like that, and then ta-da. But like I said, this is a very, very bright flashlight. It's rechargeable, it's waterproof, and it's just cool. It's just a really cool flashlight to have. So I keep this thing on the bag just because whenever I come back home, my neighbors like to turn the lights out, so I can't figure out how to get sometimes up my stairs because they're so dark. So I just turn the flashlight on like this and just walk up my stairs that way, so that way I don't fall backwards and die. Staying alive is nice. And an adjustable sternum strap here, so that kind of works really well. Actually works really well to slide up and down to adjust it to your customizable fit. Some things I find about this bag extremely annoying at this price point are the fact that, like I said, I wish they had came with better zipper pulls than what was originally installed on the thing, because yeah, those work just fine, but at the same time, you spend $220, I think, is what this bag roughly cost when I bought it. And this makes such a better sort of experience, especially like if you've used an ACCESSORY bag or even some newer, the newer North Face bags. Their zipper pulls are so easy to grab, nice to use, just because of something as simple as this little piece of plastic right here. So they could even put some heat shrink tube around, and I would have felt fine with that, but they kind of skimped on the process there. Another thing that's very annoying about the original version of this bag before I changed anything on it is that there are no sort of strap keepers on the bag, which is super annoying because you have all these excess straps almost at all times, because there's a lot of excess strap in general, and they're just dangling around. So I put these strap keepers at pretty much every point where the straps could dangle, and they work pretty well. These are inch, I think these are inches is what they are. That's what the inch straps are. And the strap keepers work pretty well because at the bottom of the strap you have sort of a lip right here that kind of keeps the strap keeper from flying over the actual end of the strap, so it kind of stays in place. So that makes it a lot nicer, because I don't really like dangling straps, especially when you're paying this kind of money for a bag. Plus, if you're walking around already with a bag that looks this tactical, you're kind of sticking out even further just because it just looks like a hot mess. So fixing the strap keepers right here makes a huge difference. And then also put these things, I think they call it Grimlock Carabiners on here, which is they kind of hold onto your Molle, they hook into the Molle system right here, and you can press it with one click and kind of open it up. And I've used this to hold a picnic blanket strap on and stuff like that with, so I can carry a picnic blanket around with me when I went like camping or something like that. But also just leave it like this because it keeps this cinch harness system straps back in place, and so it keeps them from just dangling around if I have it open or something like that. Because the top part actually has something that keeps it from just dangling around. It's weird they didn't include that in the bottom. I don't know why they didn't do that, but who knows? There must be a reason why they did it. It's very annoying that you have these drain plug holes here that, as I said, if you use this bag for your intended purpose of just carrying tech and electronics and stuff as a civilian, you really don't want to have these drain holes here. So I just plugged up, like I said, with these rubber plugs that are made for plumbing and stuff, or grommet plugs, and just put that in there and cut them a little bit so they could trim and fit them properly. And that seems to be doing a pretty good job. I mean, regardless, I probably won't be setting my bag in puddles because that would not be the smartest thing to do, but this does give me more peace of mind if I have to sit it on the ground and there happens to be water there. It doesn't just get sucked into the bag because there's a hole in my bag. Oh, a couple more areas that kind of skimped on, but like this doesn't really bother me that much, is you have the actual top handle of the bag, which is mainly just a folded piece of, you know, the nylon webbing they have at the bottom and the size of stuff. But like, I mean, some people say this is uncomfortable to grab, which I could see why it would be, but at the same time, like, it's a backpack. You're supposed to be wearing it as a backpack. You're not just going to hold it around here like this for hours. If you did, you basically just need to get a tote bag. Completely different purpose. So I see why some people can complain about this not being super comfortable, but at the same time, that's kind of a moot point because it's a backpack. They've done a really good job at designing this bag. I think it's extremely comfortable. It is definitely a great travel bag. You can carry a lot of stuff. As you've seen, I pulled a lot of crap out of my bag. You can carry it all, and you carry it all pretty easily. Overall, it's a good bag. It's pretty tactical looking in certain aspects, but I think it can blend in certain environments, and they've done a good job of keeping the body of the bag, instead of just swelling it like this, it kind of contours more towards the body, so it keeps the bag more narrow towards you. So that way, if you're on public transit or something like that when you're traveling, you're not just turning your body and smacking everybody possible. You're more or less, you kind of know how big you are as a person, and that's roughly how big the bag's going to feel as well. So yeah, it's made of extremely durable materials, beefy bag. Everything about it is well thought out. It's going to last you basically forever. Mr. Ranch, I believe, has a lifetime guarantee on their bags. So if anything happens with the manufacturer's defects, they'll basically replace it, repair it for free, I believe, is how it's set up. And the 500D Cordura, so I can't see a single thing I've done to it that could possibly cause any fraying or anything like that. And that's one other thing I actually like about this bag too, is they use a really nice stretchy elastic right here in the water bottle pocket area, and they also use Cordura on the outside of it. So that way, nothing's worse than having a backpack that has like really stretched out water bottle pockets, because if you lean over or something like that, your stuff just falls out, which is super annoying. So I've stuffed the back being full again, and as I said, it does a really good job of contouring towards your body, which you can kind of see it sort of has this really curved shape to it, because it wants to hold all the weight as tight as possible to your body, so that way it's more of a comfortable carry. Problem with that is it doesn't stand up on its own, so it's kind of annoying, because you probably have to pack this in a very particular way to get this to sit, if you wanted to sit up, but it doesn't really want to sit up on its own, so you have to be conscious of that, just in case you're carrying anything that's like kind of crushable or very important. This works and functions extremely well as a one bag travel if you wanted to. And this works and functions extremely well, I think, about any environment you can throw it into, because it's a nice looking bag. It's extremely comfortable wear. It is extremely durable, and I can't really fault it for anything, because they've thought about a lot of different things. Because one of the most important things to me is a laptop sleeve in the back, because you want it suspended, because otherwise you can smash your laptop, and they've done a good job of building that out. So this is a great bag. So if you're considering looking for a bag that is actually really useful, durable, and could be the one bag you need for everything, I would say consider the Mystery Ranch 2-Day Assault, because so far I can't find any faults with it. And it is extremely impressive for what it's able to do. So if you like this video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification icon, because I'm going to keep making content like this whether you like it or not, because I enjoy learning about things and sharing the knowledge I have to make it easier for you to figure out what to buy, why you're buying it, and save the money in your pocket, because honestly, this life is all about more cool shit and less bullshit. So the less bullshit you have, the more cool shit you can do in life and experience, because don't weigh yourself down with things you don't need. Until next time.